What's up, everyone? Welcome to our channel.
Today's video is going to be the series finale of our Honeymoon in Jamaica series. And in this video today, we're going to be telling you about our entire experience during our stay at Sandals Resorts, Dunn'sRiver in Jamaica.
Let's do this.
I want to get better, yeah. Better, yeah. Every day I want to be just fine, yeah. And the more I want to cry, this is my calling, yeah.
We'll start with our flight from Dallas-Fort Worth to Montego Bay, Jamaica. Our flight was uneventful. We left on time. It was a nice, smooth flight. With the exception of the U.S. Navy carrier landing that our pilots treated us to when we landed in Montego Bay. But otherwise, nice flight, great views. After we got off the airplane, we proceeded through customs. Customs was really easy. No issues there. And very quick, we went and we retrieved our bags, and then we went over to the Sandals Lounge in the airport.
Once we got to the Sandals Lounge, the folks took our bags, they checked them in and all. And the lounging area was pretty nice. The people were friendly, and then there were some snacks, coffee, drinks,
And a place to charge your phone.
And a place to charge your phone, too. You were crazy about that. And then the buses, the shuttles, they pick people every 30 minutes.
So we waited about 25 minutes, and then they took our bags and they proceeded to take them out to the bus. One thing to keep in mind, however, the baggage handlers are not Sandals employees, and they are rather rude about telling you that a tip is customary for taking the bags out to the bus. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, we were not thinking about that because, when you're booking for Sandals, they tell you like all the tips are included. So we were just thinking, they are employees, but apparently not. So keep that in mind.
Note that for future reference.
Yep. The road trip is about an hour and a half, and with beautiful sceneries and pretty smooth roads.
Yeah, it really is. The scenery is just great. The entire trip is along the north coast of Jamaica, so you get frequent views of the ocean and beaches as you're progressing through. And then on the right side of your travel, you'll get all these nice views of all the mountains in the interior of the island. It's just really some great scenery all the way there.
Baby, give me your heart. Now I'm in a coupe on the road. Within there, I'd embrace you. Maybe now I'm fancy, yeah. Baby, give me your heart. Now I'm in a coupe on the road. Within there, I'd embrace you. Maybe now I'm fancy,
After about an hour in, there is a bathroom break, and also you can have some jerk chicken and whatever you have. They don't have the prices listed, and we didn't really like the jerk chicken there. The fish was but the jerk chicken wasn't really good.
So when we arrived there, it was really nice. The employees meet you as you get off the bus. They sing you songs. They give you wet towels, warm towels to wipe your hands off with. And then they take you over to where you get yourself checked in.
At the concierge.
At the concierge. Yeah. There's another lounge there. And, your bags are taken to your room. So you don't even worry about that. By the time you get to your room, your bags are waiting for you. It's a really great experience, and from the word go, you meet all of these really, really nice people.
Since we were going to be having our wedding, we were going to be meeting our wedding planner at some point, so we waited a little bit at the concierge, and that is where the bead story come in. Somewhere in the series, we told you wait, and then we're going to be telling you about the beads, and there is a story behind it, so this is what it is.
Yes, the thing is, you're supposed to wear these around your neck, one for the bride, one for the groom, and everywhere you go. When you walk by a bar, somebody is supposed to see that and fill it for you. Basically, you're supposed to get a drink. And by the way, while we're sitting there, we had our first Coral Delight, which is just a delicious blue drink, and we loved them.
Yeah, the oatmeal cookies were also really good.
Yes, they were. The cookies, yes, they were. They were delicious. Great way to start this off.
Yeah.
Once we left the concierge, the lady who was our host took us for a quick walk around, familiarization with the resort. And then, as it was dinner time, she wanted to take us over to the place called the Jerk Shack before it closed.
Yeah, we arrived a little bit late and we were so hungry. The last meal we had was 10 a.m.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
But the I will call him the jerk chicken chef. That guy was so nice, and the food that we got from him, delicious. That jerk chicken was just awesome.
We loved our room so much. I think it was one of the best places we've ever been.
Absolutely.
It was clean, it was spacious, breathtaking scenes, and everything was just perfect.
So when we got into the room, we saw on the television, they had put our name up on the television. There was all kinds of papers and things like that around welcoming us to the resort. And one of the things that we got was a calendar of events. They have events that happen every evening. And on this particular evening, there was a cocktail party. But we were so exhausted from the traveling, we didn't really get to go and spend much time there.
By the way, our wedding planner was Kiona. So she gave us an iPad to go and review all the other different wedding ideas that we wanted. But when we didn't have anything to do with that because we were just renewing our vows anyway. So we didn't really need it, but they were pretty cool ideas.
Absolutely.
You gotta kill a body, ooh. Give me that kill a body, ooh. You gotta kill a body, ooh. Give me that kill a body, ooh.
The following morning was going to be busy, so we got up early and we went and we had the breakfast buffet at Salt Air, and it was delicious.
We had an appointment with Kiona at 9 a.m. and the orientation for the entire resort was going to be at 10 a.m.
Right, so we were doing some running around there. Oh, and by the way, the Jamaican blue coffee, awesome.
At 9 a.m. we met with Kiona and then we completed the wedding planning. Part of it was to do some cake tasting and we ended up settling with the Jamaican rum. At first we were thinking towards red velvet, but everything was pretty good. So we ended up with the Jamaican rum.
That was delicious too.
Jamaican fruit cake.
Jamaican fruit cake, yes.
Yeah.
Kiona walked us around the resort showing us all the different wedding venues, and we made our selection after seeing all of the ones. The venue that we chose was called Serenity, and while it looked good, we thought we were going to get some supplemental lighting, but it didn't happen that way, and as a result, the video and some of the photos that were taken were darker than we would have liked.
So after meeting with Kiona, we went back to the orientation, and our guy for the day was Hakeem. He was pretty good, and Aquaman was also good.
Yeah, he took us all over the resort, showed us all of the other different things that you could do there, all of the services that they had there, the spa, the different bars and nightclubs and things like that, restaurants, coffee shops, all of that. But yeah, Aquaman was the star of that show. He was great.
So our wedding planning took a lot of the time during our stay there. So we had limited things to do. So we were just limiting ourselves to the things that were inclusive in our package. One is the glass bottom ride, which we had from Aquaman, and then we went back to check once the orientation was over, only to find out you have to book first, and that day it was full. So we were either gonna wait until it's boarding time and see whether there are spaces of people who decided not to go anymore. And it is pretty humid in Jamaica, so we were like, no, we better go and do other things.
As it turns out, we found out that you can only book these glass bottom boat rides a day before. That's the earliest that you could book them. And since it was full up on Saturday and our Sunday was completely taken up with the wedding, I went down Sunday Saturday morning to book for a Monday morning glass bottom boat ride. And, well, when it got to be Monday morning, the weather had deteriorated so bad that the trip couldn't happen. So, unfortunately, we missed out on the glass bottom boat.
So after this appointment that we couldn't go on the glass bottom ride, so we decided to take it easy because the following day was going to be the wedding anyway. So we had our lunch. We went back to Saltaire, where we found out that they still had the buffet lunch, which was awesome. The rice and peas and oxtail, man. It was awesome, man. And then we went back to the room to chill, and because our room was having a huge soaking tub for 2 people, we were enjoying ourselves in there.
Yeah, right there on the balcony, so we could enjoy the breeze from the ocean as well. That was awesome.
I also decided to try the bath bomb for the first time. It didn't work out pretty well like I thought, but we still enjoyed the soaking.
Oh, yeah.
Rain on the sorrows, all I know is, baby, I love you, baby, I love you. And no matter how hard the break us, my heart will always beat for you. My heart will always beat for you. My heart will beat for you. And no matter how hard the break us, my heart will always beat for you.
Afterwards, we got cleaned up and we went to have dinner at Odessa, which is a Mediterranean type restaurant there, and the food we had there was really wonderful. One thing to keep in mind also when you go to any of these restaurants, it's all you can eat. If you want to try 2-3 different entrees at the same time, you can do that, and it's all included.
So we both had the beef stew, and then I had the lamb chops, and then Glenn also had the sea bass. They were all pretty good. And then they also had their customized drink or something, and they were pretty good. Later on, we were going to be going for the reggae band on the beach at 9 p.m. because on Saturday, that is what happens.
So we got there to the beach early, which was a good thing to do. So we got 2 chairs right in front of where the stage was going to be. And during that time, there was a guy playing saxophone. And if you watched our other video covering this guy, that guy was so awesome. He was just the best thing to listen to and made the time go by before the band starting at 9. I mean, it was just enjoyable. I could have listened to that guy just for days and days and days. He was sensational with that saxophone.
The band was also awesome, and we had the time of our life during that night. It was pretty good, guys. It was pretty good. Okay, so there was one thing that we noticed throughout our stay. Every time we step out of the room, anytime we would get back, we would find they have made the bed. They have removed all the trash. They have removed all the used towels and replaced everything that, is needed inside the room. That was the best housekeeping I've ever seen in my entire life. That was pretty good.
It was awesome. Yes, it was.
So they talk about giving you comfort. They give it to you. And this is not an ad.
Yeah, no, this is actually, it's the way it is. They really keep the place nice, clean, and the refrigerator's well stocked and all of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
If we ever asked for anything, they were right there on the ball with it and took care of it. And, understanding also this was a brand new resort. When we went there, it had been open less than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And, but wow, what an experience. So the next day was the wedding day. After getting up and having our breakfast at Saltaire again, we went our separate ways. Wendy went to the spa to have her makeup done, and I had a little bit of time to do a few things, such as go try to book the glass bottom boat ride, shoot some video before I went to meet Kiona after I got ready. And there I met the officiant who was going to do the service, and we prepared for all of those sorts of things, made sure that the wedding people had all of the songs that we were going to play for the wedding. and then it was time to go.
Once I was done, the makeup artist took a little bit longer, so I was running behind. So once I was done, Kiona came and got me, and then we went together to see Glenn for the first time, and we walked down the aisle and all of that. And those people were really good people. They were supportive. They were, they were good people, cool people.
No, they really were. And by the way, Wendy looked just so angelic in her wedding dress, and my reaction when I first saw her was like, oh yeah, she looks so awesome.
Yeah, you look good too.
Oh, thank you.
And then what? Because we were just two people, we were having everything at the same venue, both the cocktail party and everything.
Right.
And then the photographer did an awesome job.
Yeah,
the pictures came out nicely.
He really did. He had some good ideas for poses and shots and things like that, and he did an excellent job. I mean, he was fantastic.
Yeah. So during the wedding planning, they also help you to select the restaurant that you want them to reserve for you for the wedding dinner. And so we decided to go to Le Monde, which is the French restaurant, and it's the only restaurant that requires reservation. So that day they were going to spare us the headache of trying to get inside and eat and reserve it for us. So we picked the food that we wanted, and she presented it to them so that they could customize the menu with our names on it.
Yeah, it was really kind of cool. They had menus with our names. They had place cards for the table for us as part of the wedding package, and it was just really neat. We felt very special.
Oh yeah.
So we had an appetizer that was salmon and shrimp. That was really awesome. And then I had the beef medallions.
And I had the lamb shank.
And that food was just delicious. And let me say, we ate very well, because the same thing applies. Whatever you want, you order as much as you want. That's the best part of an all-inclusive resort like Sandals.
I've seen some cases where some people complain about all-inclusives giving them trash or serving them, second-hand things. Where it was top-notch stuff, guys. So it was pretty good.
Yes, it was. When we returned to the room, they had decorated the room for us, and they had given us some cakes and cookies and some stuff for us, and a card that said, congratulations. And it was really nice. The entire day was a wonderful experience. It really was. It was worth it.
Oh, we were so done for the day, so we went to bed. But the following day, we were going to be having the honeymoon breakfast, which they bring the food that you want in your room. During the wedding planning also, they make you select the ones that you want, so that they're going to be having it ready by the time the time comes. You also say what time you want the breakfast served and how and all of those things. So they got everything right. They gave us a breakfast plus the champagne and everything, but they only missed one thing, the muffins, but everything else was pretty good. But that day we decided to take it easy, because at the back of our minds the wedding was the most stressful thing, and once it was out of our way, now we decided to take it a little bit easy.
Yes, especially after we found out that their glass bottom boat trip had been canceled due to weather. Since we couldn't take the glass bottom boat ride, and it was about a little afternoon, it was time for lunch. So we went back to the Jerk Shack and had some more of that delicious jerk chicken. After that, it was time to hit the pool.
We could not believe it that we never got to go to the beach though.
No, right?
We stayed in the pool almost the entire day as we were we were swimming, going for the swim pool or something.
Yeah, we went to the one of the pools there has a swim up bar to it.
Yeah.
So we went over there and grabbed ourselves a couple of strawberry daiquiris and hung out and enjoyed the sun and the breeze and the nice water, and then went and got a little bit of a back massage by standing underneath the waterfall by the Sandals sign, and that was kind of cool. And just we had a great time and relaxed and chilled, and that was what the whole idea was.
So being our last day, and we had scouted everywhere, and we knew which food was good and which one was a little bit moderate. We loved Le Monde the best.
We did.
So we went back to Le Monde for the dinner.
And so that ended our final day there. The next day was the depressing day. We had to leave and return home. We'd had such a good time. And so the bus picked us back up at the lobby of Sandals and loaded our bags back on board, and off we went for another hour and a hour-and-a-half trip along the north coast back to the Montego Bay Airport. We had to wait when we got to the airport for quite a bit of time to get through security because of some unknown reason. Perhaps it was a power problem or something like that. So it took a long time to get through security and into the terminal. And then once we got there, we waited to board our airplane back to Dallas. Our airplane back to Dallas was late arriving in Montego Bay, so we had to wait, and we wound up leaving late as it was to head back home.
One thing to note, the Wi-Fi at the Jamaican airport sucked.
Big time.
So that was the only bad thing. But generally, our trip was nice.
It was.
We enjoyed everything. We enjoyed the good people. I mean, I have never seen like hospitality.
Oh, absolutely. The people there were so nice, and you genuinely believe that they are there to make sure that you have a good time. They take such good care of you. Every single person we interacted with had a great attitude, a smile on their face, and they really they were happy that you were there, and they were happy to make your stay in their country something that you will never forget. And that's exactly the way we feel about it.
Yeah, that is a very good thing to say, because we almost forgot about the elevator. The last day, the elevator broke down.
Yeah, it was broke down.
Yeah, but by the time we were going for breakfast, it was broke down. By the time we were coming back, it was already up and running.
Yep, absolutely.
So that is how much they really care about your comfort, your stay, because we were wondering, how are we going to carry our luggage and stuff? But yeah, they were good people all the way around. Their food is really nice. Me love some oxtail, man.
And here's one other thing to keep in mind to show you how these people really take care of you. So during the wedding, we had the Jamaican fruit cake, also known as Jamaican rum cake.
Yeah.
There's only the two of us, and we had all of this cake, and we're trying to figure out what to do with it. The people at the wedding planner's office stayed late to try to figure out a way to pack this up for us so that we could bring it home. And they were successful and pulled it off. And so we were able to bring that wedding cake back home and share it with our family when we got home. That's the kind of people these are, that the people at Sandals Resort are. They really do bend over backwards to do whatever it is to make your stay pleasant.
Yeah. So while at Jamaica, we decided to buy some Jamaican merch, and the major things we found so impressive were, one, the coffee cup, because somebody here drinks coffee for the whole world. And then another thing, that for my kitchen, we also got the oven mitts.
One bad thing that happened on our arrival back in Dallas was that we got held up by a clearly racist customs officer as we were trying to come back through in customs into the United States. And we got held up for over an hour waiting while they processed Wendy through customs and finally released us so that we could then proceed home. That was very upsetting and very frustrating, and just is not right at all. It was very disappointing. Yeah. There was no reason for this whatsoever. Yeah. And that's just something that cannot happen and needs to be addressed. Yeah. So, overall impressions on this trip.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Lovely. Everything was good.
It really was. The hospitality of the people at Sandals Resort all the way through this entire experience has just been sensational. You do pay for going to this resort. It's not the least expensive place to go to. However, you do absolutely get your money's worth. They do everything that they can to make sure that you have a wonderful time. Yeah. One of the things that we didn't get to do also, that we will do the next time we go to a Sandals resort, is that you also have the ability to take transportation from one resort to another.
Yeah.
And it's inclusive. Yeah. You can take part in all of the activities there, the restaurants, all of this, and you've already paid for it by going to your primary resort.
Yeah. So, for example, we were at Sandals Dunn'sRiver. We could have been able to go to Sandals Ocho Rios.
Yes. Right? We just unfortunately didn't have the time to do that, but that's one of those things that we will look into doing the next time that we go. We will definitely be going back to Sandals resorts again. It is worth your time. Please, before, make sure that this is one of those things you put on your bucket list, is to hit one or more Sandals resorts in the Caribbean. Worth it.
And because we went to Jamaica, it's gonna be a little bit unfair if I don't end up by quoting one Jamaican say, which goes, "Say come out, fish get catch," which means if you don't keep your mouth shut, you're gonna get into trouble.
Yeah, man.
Bombaclad! You guys have been so amazing on this series. You guys have been so supportive to us. We've been seeing you guys. Thank you so much for making this series a success. Until next time.
Bye-bye now.
If you need to see more on food, music, beauty, fashion, DIY, flying, and so much more, kindly hit on the subscribe button. And don't forget to turn on the post notification bell so that every single time we're going to be making an upload, you are going to be notified. Thank you so much for the love and support, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.